Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. As the next SEC meeting approaches, this is the most important XRP Ripple movie ever. This is proof that Ripple 1 is already making its way out, and it's the best sign ever for going up. We're only a few days away from getting a big pump. Crypto experts say the price could go through the roof and hit $2,000. That's pretty cool, right? Let's break it down. This movie will blow your mind. Not only is Ripple questioning the SEC's rules in this way, but it's also asking a question that could have big effects on XRP and the whole digital asset business. Not long ago, Ripple sent the SEC a new letter that brought up an important question. When does a cryptocurrency that was sold as a security stop being a security? It's not a security anymore. It's just the law. It was sent out right after the meeting with the SEC's Crypto Asset Task Force as a basic test to see if U.S. officials are ready to change how they deal with blockchain technology. It fits in well with Commissioner Hester Pierce's recent New Paradigm speech, in which she asked the agency to recognize that crypto assets change over time and shouldn't be labeled forever based on where they came from. Researchers at universities have found that a 2022 paper by Lewis Cohen and others called The Ineluctable Modality of Securities Law stands out. This paper says that a token shouldn't be considered a security if it can be bought and sold on the secondary market without being tied to an investment contract. That Ripple is using this chance to put pressure on the SEC to make a big decision in 2023 that will set a better and more complicated set of rules. Annalisa Torres, a judge, said that while Ripple sold XRP to banks through investment contracts, it did not do so through programmatic sales or trades on secondary markets. This supports their case. The fact that a token works differently after it has been sold makes it less likely that the asset itself is a security. Now, Ripple wants the SEC to use a development framework instead of vague ideas like decentralization. They think that a token shouldn't be controlled as a security until its network has grown up. It has a long history, a lot of market activity, and no one is controlling it. Only one person in charge. The SEC treats assets like XRP as if they are still tied to the companies that issued them. This causes chaos in the industry, according to Ripple. Making these tokens follow the rules for filing securities could go wrong, giving people the wrong idea that a company like Ripple still has direct control over XRP. This false idea feeds the ongoing story that XRP is controlled, which Ripple says is no longer true. The document also shows that Ripple recently tried to settle the case with the SEC, but the deal was turned down for procedural reasons. But Ripple isn't giving up. It's going on the offensive. It will use this submission to strengthen its legal position and shape its future. The bigger argument about regulations, things are changing in Washington right now. A tweet from crypto analyst Ammon says that the SEC is getting ready to hold a big assets and tokenization BlackRock, Franklin Templeton, FID, and others are all expected to attend. This group makes a strong point, a legacy it was called bullish by finance. My name is Jack the Rippler, and I'm a well-known figure in the XRP community. I also said that the new report was bullish. His question was very important to the SEC. As shown by this, Ripple is telling the old guard that they need to understand that crypto is changing and that the rules that govern it need to adapt to that. It's not enough to just win a court case. Ripple has made it clear that XRP is not the same thing it used to be, and the law should reflect that. It remains to be seen if the SEC pays attention, but Ripple isn't waiting for permission to take the lead. That's interesting, but they think it could significantly alter how all crypto tokens are managed in the US now that the big players are involved. The crypto space is not only getting hotter, it's about to go off. Many experts are making statements that sound crazy, but people who support XRP believe that a huge change is on the way. What's going to happen next is not ready for you to sum up. Crypto Insight UK reported a strong XRP move loading. XRP could go through the roof at any time with no notice. Crypto Sensei said, pointing to a surge that could catch a lot of people off guard. Dark Defender also made a big claim that XRP is creating a new wave structure that could push it to $23. This comes from long-term Elliott wave research, so don't think these predictions are just made up. More and more people believe that the next big part of the XRP story has already been told. Steph is a computer recently. A famous chart expert went one step further and made a very detailed long-term chart that shows XRP might reach $2,500 by 2030. At first glance, that number seems crazy and almost impossible to believe, especially since XRP is already worth over $136 billion. A lot of people say that this argument is wrong because it is based on the market cap myth. Many experts say that the myth is that market cap somehow limits the price that can be paid in real-time trade. but the price of a token is set by how many people want to buy and sell it. The market capitalization number doesn't take into account trade volume, liquidity, or the fact that not all tokens are moving at the same time. Also, most of XRP's supply is held in escrow, so if a lot of institutions start using it, the price could go way up above what standard valuation models say it is worth. People from all over the neighborhood have said nice things about Levi. XRP Avengers wrote that XRP is like Bitcoin, but stronger, and that $10,000 in XRP is possible. These big predictions aren't just wishful thinking. They show that more and more people think that Ripple's ongoing legal wins, growing list of institutional partnerships, and growing clarity from US regulators are setting the stage for a wealth event that will last a lifetime. Based on Steph's timeline, the years 2025 to 2026 could be very important, and they might fall during the next Bitcoin half cycle and a rising market in general. Since Ripple's legal battle is almost over, finding out the truth about XRP's standing could be the last piece that XRP is not a security, the SEC will have to say. This will make it easy for US-based exchanges, banks and payment processors to use the coin on a big scale. The price of XRP might not be the most interesting thing. What might be more interesting is whether it goes up to 10, 2, or even 10,000 cents, because people finally understand why growth could happen so quickly. For the first time in years, Ripple is getting around the SEC. Black Rockefeller and Fidelity are now in the business. The tokenization of the world's financial system is getting closer, and XRP is in the middle of it all. It's fast, it works, it's been used in war, and it's now legal, right? That's not even close to the whole story. Behind the scenes, Ripple is doing more than just winning court cases. Strong partnerships that could completely change the game are another huge sign that the market is going up that you can't miss. Find out more about how Ripple is quietly taking over the world. The world is changing in ways that could have a big impact on the future of money. Right now, a lot of people are interested in central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, which were made public by the Bank of France. This is because the Bank of France sees the XRP ledger technology, which powers XRP, as a possible model for Europe's plans for a digital currency. Not just a guess, SMQ, a crypto researcher, showed official documents and comments that show France is really thinking about Ripple's latest tech. France isn't just interested. They're also talking about how to use XRP's technology for a European CBDC. This is one reason why public blockchains like Bitcoin and Ethereum focus on openness, which often comes at the cost